This is what can happen when not enough Mexicans or other migrants go to the United States. These Mexican farm workers are harvesting lettuce for a California vegetable producer. Every day, Valley Harvesting and Packing ships tons of lettuce to school lunchrooms and restaurants all across the United States. But the lettuce isn't grown in California, and these workers are not in the United States. They're in Mexico. Company owner Steve Scaroni moved his operation south of the border because he could not find enough workers back home.
Every year it just seems like we have less and less full crews every day. It seems like for the last 5 years in the United States, all or a majority of our crews are short every day.
Immigration crackdowns and limits on the number of guest workers made labor scarce. Scaroni says he tried for years to get Congress to pass a bill that would allow for a bigger pool of legal guest farm workers. He even made 6 lobbying trips to Washington. 6. But, he says, his pleas fell on deaf ears.
We have people who are making laws and running the United States who are very disconnected from reality. And it's a very frustrating thing. I spent 2 years and 6 trips to Washington trying to be a solution to the problem. I finally gave up.
Scaroni now employs close to 500 workers on his lands and packing plant in central Mexico.
People aren't raising their kids to be farm workers.
While he allows that labor in Mexico is cheaper than back in California, his costs now are actually higher. Scaroni says he spends about $10 million a year to run this farm here in Mexico. That means $10 million a year are not being spent back in California. And that's not all. According to statistics, for every dollar spent on a farm, an additional $4 to $6 are spent in the general economy. That money gets multiplied when local businesses benefit from the farm spending. In other words, farm suppliers are losing money back home. This grandson of a Swiss-Italian immigrant has had to emigrate in a sense as well.
The sad thing is I have to complete my American dream of building a company from nothing. I have to complete it in Mexico because our government, our Congress, doesn't have the will or the fortitude to take a known problem, which is immigration, and take a dysfunctional problem and fix it.
Harris Whitbeck, CNN, Celaya, Mexico.